Hello world, welcome to MBanks Unfiltered, where I talk about almost anything. This video will be Pro Sports Rig Fix Scripted 8. Just a little something, something. Alright, shout out to, was that Mustafa 1611. Let's see, this says, caller forces newscaster to open y'all's minds. To admit the NFL is, I think he started with Michael Jordan though. Or the NBA, I mean.
The NBA has a reputation since the Michael Jordan days of, wink, wink, nod, nod, using the referees to, I'm not saying influence outcomes of games. I think that's going too far, but I do think influence going to a game 7. All I know is I was watching a game tonight, and I saw a Boston Celtic get elbowed in the face, and he was bleeding, and there was no foul call to the Lakers. I was certain that this series was going 7, and certain that even though Boston won Game 5, that I thought the Lakers would win tonight, and it would go Game 7. And there's no question that in the Michael Jordan era, Michael Jordan, take a look at his stats. He would, shoot 34 free throws a game. There's no question that the refereeing was built around Michael Jordan to make sure that he was a star in that league. No question in my mind. And I've always said publicly that Gary Bettman was a product of that NBA regime. He worked in the NBA front offices when the Michael Jordan era was going on. And I do think some of the NHL smacks of favoritism towards their stars, whether it be Ovechkin, Crosby, the big stars get the calls. And I think it happens in the NBA, and I think it happens in the NBA kind of, I'm not saying they're fixing outcomes of games as far as who wins. I am saying I think that some of the refereeing is shady. There's a former ref who's in jail right now for fixing games. And
I guess because he's on TV, but I'm like, bruh, they are fixing it. So you don't have to say it, but open-minded and motherfuckers that know the know, we know, bruh, but this is fun. This is fun for me. This is a nice little therapy.
He had all kinds of information on other referees, and the NBA really did a great job suppressing that stuff. So, that's all I can tell you on that. The NFL being fixed, we have a caller, Smart Money, who has a lot of information on games swinging back and forth, but I think, there's never been any proof there, and there certainly hasn't been the undercurrent in the NFL that you hear from the NBA and recently with the NHL. I mean, there are people in Canada who've been screaming for years. I'm talking, respected media.
Well, one of the many NFL proofs is the Tuck rule, but of how it's rig, fixed, scripted, and bullshit. But good entertainment, though.
Outlets that the NHL has a bias against Canadian teams because the NHL wants to build their core audience in America. They already have an audience up in Canada. I mean, there are people who really believe that the refereeing is shaded against Canadian teams, and there are websites that actually are dedicated to that up in Canada. So, I mean, look, there's theories about everything. Do I think that NBA games are being fixed as far as people, referees having certain teams want to win? No. I do think that stars get special treatment in the NBA and the NHL. Not so much in the NFL. Where are we going next? Let's go to Ken. Good evening, Kenny. Welcome to the show. Thanks.
He'd be mad the motherfucker if I called in. I have some dynamite for his ass. Or I'll just plant some landmines and let him fall on them, huh? Intellectually speaking. And here we go. Queen James talking about pretty much Hollywood scripts.
I feel like every season for me is just like it's like a movie. Every season is like a movie, and I'm like living in it. Like I'm the star in the movie. Like it feels dope as shit. I'm saying like Batman. I feel like Batman, Black Panther, all of them.
Well, there's that. All right, shout out to Lobo. So this is like magnets used in basketball. I think in one of my previous Pro Sports Rig Fix scripted videos, I was saying they use technology to influence some of these outcomes also. So referees with their bullshit calls, players doing what they're told, not not to try to win games, but try to do what they're told in the game. So if they win, if they lose, whatever, nigga, they were told and paid and signed contracts to do that, and shut the fuck up about it. If somebody asks, hey, nigga, did you throw that because the league is rigged, fixed, scripted? They'll probably have to do some robotic bullshit answer or try to make you seem like you dumb. Like, bruh, it's okay, bruh. It's entertainment. It's all bullshit. WWE, whatever the fuck. It's like, these motherfuckers just so emotionally attached. I'm like, bruh. Y'all remember, well, there was like a Bridgestone commercial. I probably played it in one of these rigged, fixed, scripted. I think I'm on number 8. I don't know how, but, Deion Sanders was in a commercial complaining like, oh, Deion don't like that. And it's like these Bridgestone tire football thingy or technology shit or whatever. It was like pretty much, I don't know, just crazy ass movement in the air with the ball. Like just weird ass shit with the ball. But like these, I'm like, bro, I'm sure if they need somebody to miss a shot, then yeah, there's probably some kind of motherfucker in the crowd or in the box office with a goddamn remote. And then they put a control or some kind of shit in the balls to make shit. Man, here we go. Let's just see. Let's just see. All right, shout out Lobo. Let me check this volume. Okay. Oh yeah. So this Kawhi shot is one of the crazy ass one.
Simmons, is this the dagger?
Alright, so starting in the 2021-2022 NBA season, the NBA changed from Spalding to Wilson for their official basketballs. You will see why I said this later in the video. But the other thing I found interesting was the NBA doesn't use a new basketball every game. The ball is handed to the officiating crew before every game and simply gets reused. Interesting. It is also kept in proper condition unless a player asks to keep it. And NBA game balls are subject to an extensive review process. Think about it, an extensive review process before they're used in an NBA game. And furthermore, it says after the final buzzer during the season, the 3 balls selected for use in an NBA game will be returned to the equipment store of the home team for general use in practice and drills. Peep that number, 3 different basketballs. Now in this next section, there's a YouTuber by the name of Jam's Plethora that goes into the specs of the basketball and mentions how there is digital technology. Go subscribe to this channel. It has some good content out there.
You read that right there, but then you go down here and it shows features and specs. So the specs here are pretty much the same as the ones on Spalding. So it shows you that. Ships inflated, all that kind of stuff, right? So you go back, but you go to the features and it pretty much shows you all that. But I want to note this right here. If you look here, it says the NBA Game Ball 1 is the closest to what is used by the pros every season. However, basketball is used for NBA games, may have unique specifications, digital technology, and or stricter quality controls or tolerances. So I want to take notice of digital technology. So a lot of people have questioned as of lately, and I've seen this become a lot more prevalent of a question. Are there magnets inside of the basketballs? Do I think so? Yes, definitely. Because I've seen, after that Kawhi shot against the Sixers in 2019, I had no choice but to believe it.
Now, if you remember from my magnetics and football video, how they put a transmitter inside the football, look what Wilson is able to do with the technology in a basketball. Now, what I'm finna show you is not the official NBA basketball, but it's from the same brand, Wilson, that makes the official NBA basketball. Also the same ones that make the official NFL football. And we've already seen the magnetics with the football and the gloves. So you gotta ask yourself, would you really put it past Wilson to do this with an official NBA basketball? Especially when you factor in all the money wrapped up in sports betting. Because remember, this is a sports...
It's like, and I bet you a lot of these NBA owners and sports owners are Satan worshipers. So I'm like, bro, or all that money, money root of all evil. Well, shit, whoever got more money is probably more evil. And I'm like, well, yeah. And then this satanic symbolism they show throughout their commercials and halftime shows and all that bullshit. And I'm like, oh, but y'all really, or, close-minded creatures and Negrobots. It's like, oh, so do I just pretend to be in Disneyland with you to not upset you? Or, oh, I'm crazy, knowing that these leagues is fluked and you don't even have a doubt or question, hey, these leagues might be bullshit. No, it's real. It's real. Stupid motherfucker.
entertainment business.
We have a basketball.
My bad.
Especially when you factor in all the money wrapped up in sports betting. Because remember, this is a sports entertainment business.
There we go.
We have a basketball.
A very smart basketball.
Very
Some would
smart.
say the smartest basketball you've ever seen. Somewhere inside of this ball, it's a Wilson X Smart basketball. It has something in it that talks to your devices that helps you learn how to play basketball. The way that this one works is it gives you 20 seconds on the clock. And so for every 2-point shot you make, you get a certain number of seconds, like 5 seconds added to it. For every 3-pointer you make, you get like 8 or 9 seconds added to it. And so you can just keep playing. Like you could play this all day long, but your clock is going to run out the more shots that you make. Bill thinks that the actual chip is right here in this spot. And it makes sense because on the other side, there's the air side of it, even though it has the Bluetooth logo. But this is where it must be. Okay, we got it. Look at that thing. All right, is this it? You think that's it?
Yeah,
It has to be. We still don't know much more. When I was throwing this up earlier, the ball, it felt like it was a little bit lopsided. It seems like that's heavy enough to make it wobble. Oh, yes. What's inside of this sensor that's inside of the Wilson X ball?
Is?
What is it, liquid?
Oh, it's battery.
It's having a baby. Whoa! What?
I wonder if it moves inside that little capsule.
When the ball spins, it can sense the rotation of it. That is interesting. And on this top side, it looks like it's the battery, like right there.
Yeah.
It's got to have something to get that RFID chip.
So does it?
But there's nothing in the NFL or NBA footballs, though. No chance. And it's like, well, motherfucker, can we at least all be in agreement that it's possible? That's all I fucking need.
Ever die?
I don't know. Well, I just chopped the battery out of it. That's a pretty heavy-duty battery. Will it run out of battery? It could. This is all the technology inside of it with the motherboard, the chips inside.
You can definitely see the chip.
To make a shot from anywhere on the court. Is it magic or is it magnets? Tiny magnets placed on the ball, ensuring a strong attraction to the metal rim. Watch. And when Baron needs more magnets, Baron gets more magnets. Don't believe me? Watch the NBA playoffs and you'll see there's really no other explanation.
Now we all know whenever you shoot a basketball, it's supposed to bounce off the rim if it doesn't go in, assuming you don't airball or flat out brick off the backboard. Now, I would love for somebody to explain this shot to me. Nigga, the ball is sitting on the top of the rim. It didn't bounce. And to all the trolls that love to say, oh, it's just physics, that's what a ball did that. I would love for you to physics your way out of this one, bitch.
You know what I'm saying?
If you really think there's not magnets in this shit after watching these, I don't know what to tell you. Now, I played basketball my entire life, and not once has this ever happened shooting the ball. The ball doesn't sit this long on the front of the rim and go in. If you say it does, you just playing 2K and you got a glitch. Now to this next one, this shit is just ridiculous. The dude airballs a free throw. Clearly doesn't have range. Airballs the 3. Confirms he doesn't have range. Now watch the half-court shot. Sinks it. Really? Really?
If you get that first rebound. Because the block gives you 2.1 seconds. And there is Anthony Davis. Well, you got to follow him. Yeah, there was no screen.
Man, I had an interruption. Munchkin came in. My tooth fell out. Amazing. It's like, shoot, I think the tooth fairy and the NBA is in the same imagination bullshit land. But let me see. I don't know. Let me go back up. All right. My bad.
Oh,
Cody.
There is Anthony Davis. Well, you got to follow him. Yeah, there was no screen, Pumpley. You got to follow. There ain't no screen. Yeah, that was a magnet.
Dead silent.
Now watch this shot by Anthony Davis. He had a fadeaway three-pointer. As you can see, this shot is short, way short. Now, as you can see from the basketball's trajectory, at the last minute, it starts to drift to our right to go in the basket. Now, listen to what former NBA player Josh Smith has to say about magnets in the rims while he's watching this Sixers game.
I asked Trey, say he the fourth member of the Migos, man. Look, they got a magnet on the rim. That wasn't even supposed to go in. Look at him, now he hurt. Look at him. See what happened? See what happened when you get your ass kicked? Shit hurt a little worse, boy. Shit hurt a little worse. Look, they got a magnet on the rim. That wasn't even supposed to go in.
No, that nigga sound kind of high, bro. But no, there was some other shots that did look rent or questionable. But yeah, just a little more icing on top of my Pro Sports is Rick Fix scripted cake. So, you know, when I go look and see the opposite of people that say it's not, it's not. It's like there's nothing more clear enough. It's not, nothing to elaborate, nothing, just it's not. They're real. Like, bro, it's been fluke since day one to me. So, I mean, I don't know. But, hey, think what you want to think. I'm just trying to open minds a little bit, trying to Morpheus y'all motherfuckers and shit, from the Matrix and shit. But yeah, y'all be cool. Keep your stress low. Don't be scared of nothing. Be prepared for everything. Peace.